What's up, guys? This is Luke from SoberFromDespair.com, chilling in Colorado Springs right now, and I'm doing a video blog tonight. And the topic of this video blog is why you should always tell a doctor if you're going in to get some sort of procedure or anything like that surgically done, why you should tell them you're in recovery, and also why you should think for yourself and not totally listen to any doctor, especially if you're telling them and you're going to get a procedure done and you're telling them in your recovery, why you should always think for yourself and listen to your inner self on what's right and what's wrong. What got me thinking about this was last week I had a stomach scoping done, like an endoscopy. I have a hiatal hernia and I was throwing up some blood, long story. But I go in to get this procedure done, and I was talking with both the doctors, the anesthesiologist and also my stomach doctor. And I was telling them that I'm an addict in recovery because I want them to know. I want them to know that because I'm going in to be put under. And these guys do have the power to prescribe me stuff. They do have the power to feed me drugs, and they're going to get this stomach scoping done. They need to know about me and where I'm coming from so it doesn't fuck me up further down the road. So I'm talking with them, and I'm telling them about what's going on. And first off, I started talking with the anesthesiologist, and he was asking me what I was addicted to, and I told him I was addicted to methadone, different opiates, and I love benzodiazepines. And the first red flag kind of to me about him not really fully understanding addiction is he was surprised at the fact that I was into benzodiazepines. He was telling me that you can't really find those on the street. And I'm like, dude, if you know the right person, I could find benzodiazepines today, even though I don't know anybody on them. I could find them, they're very common, and I love that drug. And he was telling me that he's taken benzodiazepines before, and they just made him a little bit sleepy. He doesn't understand how anybody could get addicted to something like that. And then him and my stomach doctors proceeded to tell me about the drug that I was going to be on, which was propofol. It's the same drug that Michael Jackson ended up overdosing on. And they're telling me, almost romanticizing the drug, talking about how it's going to make me feel really well, I'm going to love the feeling, I'm going to fall to sleep, I'm going to wake up relaxed, and just all these words that they were using were the feelings that I was seeking when I was active in my addiction. And so, talking with them, and they're like, but this isn't a drug you could really abuse. I'm like, yeah, Michael Jackson abused the shit out of it. They're like, no, he used it to sleep, so don't worry if you're an addict in recovery, because this isn't a drug that's abusable. Well, I mean, the fact that he's using a anesthetic to go to sleep, that's abuse right there. And then also, as I've discussed in previous video blogs about addiction, when I am prescribed the propofol, it's going to activate the same areas of my brain that any drug would. It's going to make the limbic system override the prefrontal cortex of my brain, and my decision-making skills are not going to be very good. So coming out of surgery, if you're going into surgery and you're coming out and they're going to have to prescribe you pain medicine further down the road because you just had something, I don't know, cut or you were worked on, you need to tell them this beforehand because your brain's already wired for that relapse. You already, for me for example, I already had the propofol in there and the limbic system's overriding that prefrontal cortex. So if I had an opportunity to be prescribed Vicodin or something like that, I'm way more likely to ask the doctor for Vicodin because my brain's already messed up. It's back in that addictive cycle again. So that's another reason you really need to talk with your doctors. That same day, it's kind of funny, I was riding with my dad. He drove me into the doctor's appointment, and we actually went for him to meet with his doctor that has been prescribing him methadone for over the past decade. And as I've discussed it before, my dad's still active in his addiction, and I was addicted to his pain pills. So you really need to tell your doctor, but do it from the standpoint of thinking for yourself and being like, I'm telling this guy so that he knows the right dose to give to me, and he knows that I could be drug seeking after I get this surgery. But then also be very leery of your doctor, because a lot of times they don't really understand addiction. I don't feel anybody fully understands what addiction is. We're still learning a lot about this, and so that's just what got me thinking on this video blog tonight. So I want to thank you for coming on the website, and we'll talk to you soon.